If you bought one of these 8 pickup trucks in the last couple of years, there's a very good chance you lost a serious amount of money. And I'm not talking about normal depreciation either. This isn't that typical first-year drop. This is value falling off a cliff. So what actually happened? Automakers rushed brand new technology straight into production, engines that weren't fully proven, platforms that hadn't been tested long enough, electronics packed with software that hadn't seen real-world stress. Trucks were pushed out the door before problems could show up, and then priced way higher than they realistically should have been. All right, let's break it down. Starting at number 8. Number 8, Jeep Gladiator. In 2024, the average Gladiator was selling for around $46,890. In just 2 years, owners saw about a 34% drop in value, and this is a perfect example of a brand creating its own problem. Stellantis flooded the market with Gladiators. Way too many trucks, not enough buyers. So dealerships had no choice but to start throwing huge discounts just to move inventory. In some cases, discounts reached up to $15,000 to $20,000 off MSRP. Now that sounds great if you're buying today, but if you already own one, that just destroyed your resale value overnight. Think about it. If a brand new Gladiator is sitting on a lot for under $40,000 after discounts, what do you think your used one is worth? Exactly. That's the situation current owners are stuck in. And on top of that, the Gladiator has always been a niche product. It's fun, removable doors, open-air driving, serious off-road capability, but as a truck, it comes with compromises. It still uses a solid front axle, which is great off-road, but makes the on-road ride noticeably rough. It doesn't tow as confidently as something like a Tacoma, and fuel economy isn't great either. So when the market tightens, these fun trucks are the first ones buyers walk away from. Number 7, GMC Sierra EV. In 2024, these trucks were selling for around $97,000 on average. In just 2 years, they dropped about 36%. That's roughly $35,000 gone. Just take a second and think about that. These trucks launched close to $90,000 for the base Denali Edition 1, and now they're sitting in the used market at prices that barely sit above a well-equipped gas truck. That's a brutal reality check. The Sierra EV runs on GM's Ultium platform, which on paper looked impressive. Over 400 miles of claimed range, advanced battery tech, cutting-edge features, but in reality, it hasn't been perfect. There have been recalls tied to battery-related issues, including potential loss of drive power. Owners have also reported software glitches, warning lights, system errors, and inconsistent driver assist behavior. Not exactly confidence-inspiring when you're buying a used EV that still costs a fortune. And then GM made things worse. They introduced more affordable trims in the $60,000 to $70,000 range, which completely undercut early buyers. So now the market is asking a very simple question. Why would anyone pay luxury EV prices for a used one when a brand new one is cheaper? That's the trap a lot of early buyers walked into.
Number 6, GMC Hummer EV pickup.
Same 36% drop, but in 2024, the average price was about $104,000. That means owners lost nearly $37,500 in just 2 years. And for some people, it was even worse. There were early buyers paying over $120,000. And by late 2025, those same trucks were worth closer to $80K to $85K. That's nearly $40,000 gone. Here's the issue. The Hummer EV was never really built to be practical. It's massive. It weighs over 9,000 pounds. And even though it has a huge battery, real-world efficiency is surprisingly low compared to other EVs. Features like crab walk and extract mode are impressive, but they're more novelty than necessity for most buyers. So once the hype died down and the early flippers exited, real demand just wasn't strong enough to hold prices up. And then there's the biggest concern of all, the battery. Any used buyer looking at a $100,000 electric truck is immediately thinking, what happens when this battery needs to be replaced? And right now, that's not a cheap answer. On top of that, expensive options like special paint or premium wheels, which cost thousands when new, add almost nothing in resale value. So owners end up eating those costs completely. The Hummer EV definitely gets attention, but financially, it's a tough hit. Number 5, Tesla Cybertruck, also down about 36% in 2 years. In 2024, the average price was around $94,485. That's roughly $34,000 lost. And for early buyers, it's been even worse. By 2025, Cybertruck sales dropped sharply, nearly cut in half year over year. That alone tells you a lot. Once Tesla sold to its core fan base, they had to win over regular truck buyers. And regular truck buyers weren't impressed. The stainless steel body sounds futuristic, but in real life, it's difficult to live with. Fingerprints show up instantly, road grime sticks, and repairs are expensive because panels often need full replacement instead of simple fixes. Some repair estimates for minor damage have already gone into 5 figures. Insurance companies know this, which is why premiums are significantly higher compared to traditional pickups. Add in early reports of quality concerns and steering-related issues, and now you've got a truck that lost its novelty but hasn't earned mainstream trust. And that combination, that's exactly what drives resale values down fast.
Number 4. Nissan Titan XD. In 2024, the average Titan XD sold for about $65,127. In just 2 years, owners lost roughly 41% of its value, over $26,700. And honestly, this one's almost sad. The Titan XD was always stuck in the middle. Nissan tried to make it heavier duty than a half-ton, but not quite a full heavy-duty truck. Buyers didn't know what to make of it. It couldn't really compete with an F-250 or a Ram 2500 for towing and hauling, but it was too big and inefficient for daily driving. The diesel option? Gone. Nissan even dropped the Cummins diesel early due to low demand. Then Nissan announced the entire Titan lineup would be discontinued, and in the truck world, nothing kills resale faster than that. Once buyers hear, "This model is dead," questions about parts, dealer support, and long-term reliability immediately hit the used market. Rust problems, thin body panels, an interior that felt dated even in 2024. Even though the V8 engine itself is solid, the rest of the truck just couldn't keep up. Alright, top 3, and here's where it really starts to sting. Number 3. Ram 1500. In 2024, the average price was $65,514. In 2 years, it dropped 47%. That's over $30,800 gone, and this is shocking for one of America's best-selling trucks. Here's what happened. Ram killed the long-loved 5.7-liter Hemi V8, an engine with a cult following. Truck buyers trusted it and knew it could handle 200,000-plus miles with minimal issues. It was replaced with the new Hurricane twin-turbo inline-6. On paper, more power, but unproven. Early owners reported oil leaks within the first 1,500 miles, coolant valve failures, and other reliability issues. Then there's the electrical system, called Atlantis. Owners reported warning lights, airbag alerts, SOS malfunctions, and trucks not starting after sitting a few days. Some Ram 1500s were reportedly in the shop for weeks for PCM replacements, still unresolved. Launching a new engine and a new electrical platform simultaneously, that's exactly what leads to major depreciation. Number 2. Ford F-150 Lightning. In 2024, the average price was about $74,558. In 2 years, it dropped 48%, roughly $35,800 lost. This one stings differently. Ford took its most iconic truck and went all in on electric. At first, the Lightning seemed like the future, but real-world use told a different story. When towing near capacity, range drops drastically, often 50 to 60% less than advertised. So a truck rated to tow 10,000 pounds might barely make 80 to 100 miles before needing a charge. Cold weather? Even worse. Contractors and long-haul users quickly realized this is not a practical work truck. Instead of a workhorse, it became a commuter with a truck bed. And the used market punished that shift immediately. Number 1. Chevrolet Silverado EV, the worst depreciation of all. In 2024, the average price was about $82,832. 2 years later, down 55%. That's over $45,500 lost. Some trims launched near $100,000. Losing more than half that quickly is historic. The Silverado EV shares GM's Ultium platform with the Sierra EV, which comes with the same recalls, software glitches, and battery concerns. But it has another big problem. GM removed Apple CarPlay and Android Auto completely. Instead, they installed a proprietary Google-based system and then required monthly subscriptions, $15 per month for basic app access, $25 per month for Super Cruise. For used buyers, that's an immediate red flag. You're not just buying a truck, you're signing up for recurring monthly costs. Add in the fact that EV hype is cooling and real-world towing drops range dramatically, and you have the single worst depreciating pickup on the market today.